everybody, it's Emily from the Bell Road branch of the Newburgh-Chandler Public Library, and welcome to week 2 of the Tween Virtual Book Club. I am so excited for this week's theme, which is fairies. So in this video, I guess I'll be the library fairy. Today I'm going to tell you about a book I read that has fairies in it. I'm also going to show you how to do a fairy craft and show you how to make a fun and messy snack that goes along with the fairy theme. I also have a challenge for you guys, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Let's get started! This week I read In a Blink by Kiki Thorpe and illustrated by Jana Christie. Now most of us know the story of Peter Pan, Tinker Bell, and Neverland, but we don't know Neverland as well as these 4 girls are about to. One day, Lainey, Kate, Mia, and Mia's younger sister Gabby are playing in their yard when Gabby discovers a fairy. The fairy, named Prilla, has the ability to blink in and out of places and show herself to children so that they will continue to believe in fairies. Prilla tries to leave after talking to Gabby, but Gabby grabs her in an attempt to keep her from leaving. Because of this, Prilla accidentally blinks the 4 girls with her back to Neverland. Prilla tries to blink the girls home, but is unable to for some reason. Now, the girls have the chance to explore Neverland, which is something that most humans, or as the fairies call us, clumsies, are unable to do. But despite all the fun that they're having in Neverland, will the girls ever be able to get back home? There's a passage in the front of the book that talks about Neverland that I'd like to read to you. Far away from the world we know, on the distant seas of dreams, lies an island called Neverland. It is a place full of magic, where mermaids sing, fairies play, and children never grow up. Adventures happen every day, and anything is possible. There are 2 ways to reach Neverland. One is to find the island yourself. The other is for it to find you. Finding Neverland on your own takes a lot of luck and a pinch of fairy dust. Even then, you will only find the island if it wants to be found. Every once in a while, Neverland drifts close to our world. So close, a fairy's laugh slips through, and every once in a longer while, Neverland opens its doors to a special few. Believing in magic and fairies from the bottom of your heart can make the extraordinary happen. If you suddenly hear tiny bells or feel a sea breeze where there is no sea, pay careful attention. Neverland may be close. You could find yourself there in the blink of an eye. In one day, 4 special girls came to Neverland in just this way. This is their story. This is the first book in a series called The Never Girls. After I finished this book, I immediately picked up the second one. This book is available at the library and on our Libby app. If you enjoy books about magical places and magical people, I highly recommend reading In a Blink by Kiki Thorpe and illustrated by Jana Christie. This week's craft is what I call a flower fairy. I named my fairy Prilla after the fairy in the book I read. Prilla was very easy to make with some flowers and a popsicle stick. I personally used fake flowers to make Prilla so she would last longer, but your fairy can be made from real flowers, origami flowers, or flowers that you cut out of paper. I took several layers of petals to make the skirt that you see here. I cut a hole in the middle of each layer so that it would fit on the popsicle stick just right and I wouldn't have to use any glue. I did the same thing for the hat. So you can see the hole that I made right there, and that means that the hat is able to slip on and off very easily. The only thing that you'll need to glue are the wings. And for the wings, I found layers of petals that looked like fairy wings. I glued them together, and then I glued them onto the back of the popsicle stick. You can use any color or type of flower you want, and just make sure that you're having fun making your flower fairy friend. Now it's time to show you guys the challenge that I have for you this week. My challenge to you is to make a fairy house using supplies that you have in your home. I made my fairy house with popsicle sticks, tape, and glue. These are great materials to use when making your fairy house, but I also want to see what other ideas you can come up with. I made mine so that the roof comes off and it's filled with flowers inside so that the fairies are comfortable and they can enter and exit. There are no limits to this challenge. Just use your imagination and whatever you have available. There will be a question in the Google form where you can tell me what materials you used and how your fairy house turned out. Have fun! I am so excited to show you guys this snack because it's fun and messy and it tastes really good. Now remember to wash your hands before handling the food and ask your parents' permission to heat up some of the ingredients. Today I'm going to show you how to make fairy dust popcorn. The ingredients you will need are marshmallows, butter, popcorn or kettle corn, and sprinkles. For today's example, I am using kettle corn. You're going to want to put your popcorn or kettle corn in a little bowl like I have here. Then you're going to want to put a small handful of marshmallows and a little bit of butter into a microwave-safe bowl or mug. You're then going to microwave your marshmallows and butter for 30 seconds at a time, stirring in between. In just a second, I will show you what the mixture will look like when it's done. When your mixture is done, it'll look something like this. So you can see the kind of consistency that I have here. You're going to stir it up a little bit, and the next step is to very, very carefully pour it over your popcorn or kettle corn. If you need to use a spoon or a fork to help you, you can do that. Once it's poured over the popcorn, you're going to use your utensil just to kind of stir it up if you need to, or you can leave it all at the top. It's just going to help the sprinkles stick a little bit more. So once you've got that, you're going to take your sprinkles and sprinkle some on top, like that, and you have your fairy dust popcorn. Thank you guys for joining me for this week's Tween Virtual Book Club. I hope you had a great time. Remember, there is a Google form that will be linked in the description that you can fill out where you can tell me about what you did this week and how you enjoyed it. See you next time!